Streaming is on.
Greetings and welcome to Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make a note so that you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream portion, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthanger Forum member to find the link to attend the after party. Now, here at Stunthanger Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've done in your shop lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthanger Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you are not a member, please register at stunthanger.com/SMF. Now, you must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthanger will not approve you. Now, if you are inclined to not come in and just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, great. Please enjoy. Also, enter your questions or comments in the chat box. I will do my best to get your comments as part of the show or questions. Now, understand, now sometimes I can't get a word in edgewise myself, so be patient. I will ask the panel your question. Now, if you find Stunthanger Video Hangouts or the many building videos Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. Okay, that's a like. When I say like, I mean give it a thumbs up. You're not going to see a like on the channel, but you're going to see a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Now, giving us thumbs ups helps the channel grow. So please consider joining our YouTube channel, and please consider doing the likes, the share, the subscribes. All these things help. Now, if you decide to, we also have a YouTube membership on the YouTube side, and it's $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day, and your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthanger. Now, with your memberships, you get special badges on the YouTube chat box, just like an emoji, like kind of a thing, which is different than people who are non-members. And once a month, as a member, you're able to watch Sparky's Q&A, where it's a members-only video, and excuse me, he answers questions. Obviously, the questions you ask, he'll answer. And then there's unlimited replays of these member-only videos that are only exclusively for members, and they're fantastic. Some of them are Al Raby builds and stuff like that you won't see anywhere else. Now, you can also donate to the YouTube and to our cause through the chat box that's located in the bottom of the chat box. It's like a big dollar sign, and that's another way you can donate. And I appreciate your past, your present, and future support. You're really helping us grow and making things happen. Now, please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words you wouldn't say around your children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to turn aside to a different monitor here. And let me go and post the link. And posted. All right, so I hope to have some new guests. Today's Friday, so Monday we actually had 2 new guests, and then I had another guest about a week prior to that. So we're growing. You guys are making it happen, and I really appreciate it very much. I'm looking forward to hopefully some new guests tonight, or my friends join me again, and just having some fun, talking about what we obviously enjoy very much. So let's see what happens tonight. Let me see here what's going on here. Do I have it all set up? Just a second here. Now, the weather out here in Southern California has been very cold and rainy. I mean, matter of fact, we've had some hail I mean, some hail that is threatening to put dents in your vehicle. It's been pretty intense. So I haven't done any flying. I have been doing a little bit of work in my shop. Unfortunately, not on airplanes, but well, indirectly. I installed an XY compound table on my drill press, and I'm also installing an arbor press on another table. And so my machinery and my workshop is improving, and I'm excited to have these new tools at my disposal. But I'm also looking to work on my chipmunk. I'm looking to try to help the vertical CG. It has a upright mounted engine, and I recognize that the weight of the engine is throwing off the vertical CG, and I have already added some weight to the landing gear to kind of offset that. But I'm believing that by putting a lighter tongue muffler on there and removing the regular tube muffler, that should also help because the tongue muffler weighed 22 grams and the tube muffler is like 61 grams. So about a third of the weight I'll be able to take off, and that should translate into a little better control.
A family's going to buy that, not somebody our age.
Okay.
You know.
Hey, Philip.
Hey there. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Hanging in here, crazy as ever. Maybe a little worse, but not too much.
Well, you're the first one in, so I really appreciate you coming in. I was just talking to myself and just filling in the time. So
yeah. What in the world you got a cover up over there for?
Oh, it's just for aesthetics. I think it looks better than the way it is normally.
Usually looks fine.
Yeah, I'm hoping to make it better in general. It's just something I'm going to get to, but I got some other priorities right now. But I'd like to make it look even better.
I know what you're talking about. There was a fella on here on the Stunt Hangar that offered a Usama wing for sale, and I was going to try to get it. And I'd already talked to him about it, and I had to go back and tell him last night. Tell you what, let me just get the foam wing instead of getting the Usama wing. I'm gonna have to wait a couple of weeks because we had a refrigerator go out.
Oh wow!
If you think sticker shock only applies to automobiles, go to Lowe's and look at refrigerators.
You know, I went. Yeah, I was in Lowe's recently, and I actually went by in the plumbing section, which is I passed by the refrigerators, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Man, a refrigerator like what we had is $3,800. Howdy.
Yes. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Tom. How's it going, man?
All right. It's Brendan, by the way. I don't think my name's posted this time.
I'm sorry. You know what? I have 3 new people. You're Brendan, right?
Brendan, yeah.
Forgive me, Brendan. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Well, I'm glad you came in, and I'm really looking forward to us getting some more guests. So if you know anybody else who might enjoy it, please let them know about it and tell them how much fun you're having. And to me, it's like going to a contest and hanging out with a bunch of guys at a contest.
Yep, I enjoyed last week, so I'm back.
All right, good. Hey, Lynn, what's up?
Hey guys, how's it going?
He's a glutton for punishment. How are you, Lynn?
Very well.
Lynn, I didn't mean it that way, but anyway, I'm tongue-tied.
So, Lynn, how's your shop progressing? When are we going to get another grand tour of it?
My shop?
Yeah, the one you're working on downstairs.
Oh, my shop's been done for a long time. It was my rec room I was working on.
Oh, I thought that was your shop you was working on.
No, the shop's been done for a couple of years.
Okay. Forgive me. I called Brendan Tom, and I'm talking about your rec room being your shop, and I don't know.
No, that's okay. That's fine. Yeah, I've been working on airplanes again now. I got my Spitfire all finished framing up and so forth. So yeah, it's coming along pretty good. It's ready for covering now.
Hey,
it's ready for covering, and now I've started another airplane.
Wow, that's great.
Be careful. Be careful.
I know what you're saying. Phil. I'm going to start finishing them, but not finishing them.
Yeah, I got 8 downstairs in that situation. 8.
It's all right. I'm gonna try and catch you.
It's not a club you want to be in. Trust me.
No, I know. You get all these airplanes, and then you never finish any of them. I get it.
Yeah, I'm working on one now, and it's the problem is between time I built the airplane and when I decided to finish it, I loaned the plans out, and now I can't get the plans back, and I can't I don't know how big the landing gear is supposed to be.
Oh my gosh.
So as soon as Mr. Adamison gets on here, I tried to do that hip pocket plans this week. I was gonna look up a set of plans in there, and I'd be darned if I can get it to tell me anything. I got to the plans and found that they do have the correct humbug on there.
Okay.
But I need to find out just how long are the gear legs on the main gear. That's all I need to know. Once it bends and goes up in, I can figure all that out. But how long are the gear legs? The rest of it's a breeze. But I want to finish that little airplane. I'm doing it.
That's
I'm
right.
doing it. It being a humbug and me being as old as I am, when I think of humbug, I think of Mr. Magoo. So for a pilot, it's got a little helmet. It's just a helmet sitting there. It's just a carved wooden helmet. Doesn't have all the details. It's just a carved wooden helmet sitting there, and he's smiling at you. And it's got Magoo written across it. And,
that's awesome.
I thought it would just be a good fun airplane. So I've
Darn
got
right.
it that far, but now I got to get it where I can fly the darn thing.
For sure.
But it's going to be a 20 powered by a 25 instead of a 32.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Oh, it sounds like fun. That's
It
great.
is. I wish I had taken more time doing the Econocoat. I just kind of slapped it together. It was really a proof of design airplane. I thought, well, if this one works, I've already got a set of ribs cut out for a wooden one. This one's foam winged. And I thought I'd see if the plane's worth spending the time on really doing one up right. And I don't know, it's so darn cute. I wish I'd taken my time finishing this one, but I'll probably end up refinishing this one or building another one or the other.
That's
but
right.
it is a cute little, it's a really cute little airplane.
That's awesome.
And it's the fun part about it is it's so little that I can transport it without having to build anything or do anything, you know.
I like airplanes
Hey,
like that.
Me
too.
Me too. I like stuff I can work with, but I'll get it finished. It's coming right along. It's should be another week, and I'll have an airplane. It's going to have it's a Air Force Thunderbirds-esque. I'm not going to do the big bird on the bottom, but the rest of it's kind of U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds paint scheme. Just in other words, red and blue tips and the whatever you call it on the nose, and then the tail of the rudder, the fin is blue with USA in it written vertical, and the tail has 13 red and white stripes on it. So,
oh my goodness, it'll take you a week just to paint the tail.
No, tape it off. I just painted it white, taped it off, and shot it red, and it was done.
That's awesome.
I figured the math would be tough, but nothing to it. Some of this math that you got in high school and college that we never thought we'd ever use, once in a while I use it. Amazing.
Oh, for sure. That's good.
But it worked out. It's turned out really cute. And I don't know how to fly it, but it sure looks cute.
That's great.
Tran, what are you up to this week?
Nothing. I just I have everything set up. I'm gonna glue that piece on the mold back together. Hopefully everything is gonna go right. I have one shot to do it right, so I kind of took my sweet time trying to get to this point.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just fun to get back down to shop again. I've been working on a house for so long that working on balsa wood again is going to be a lot of fun.
You betcha.
Let me say hi to Mark and Gary and Cheyenne and Robert. Thanks for coming in, you guys.
You bet. Hey, Robert.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great.
Does this microphone work? I'm trying out a different headphone.
That's a little shaky.
Yeah? Is it hearable or not?
It's
not very good quality. It's not, the audio is not very good.
Oh, maybe I'll just go old-fashioned then and unplug it.
Yeah.
You sound kind of
Yeah.
like a duck.
Just make lots of noise. Okay, back with you in a sec.
Yeah, you sound like Donald Duck.
He, he, he likes
Quack,
to make
quack.
he likes to make me jealous with that vacuum system he's showing right there.
Yeah,
That
no,
is
it's
really nice.
pretty neat. I've admired it too.
I've got all the stuff to do that except the hose. I've got to get the hose. I've got to buy the hose, but I've got the vacuum system itself, and I've got all the ends and the connectors and everything. I just got to buy the hose and put the darn thing together.
Oh, cool. Look at that.
That's a
Yeah,
really
look at that
That
adjusting
connection
jig.
systems
I have
can
one of
be
those.
quite pricey.
Oh yeah, yeah. I should have bought it 5 years ago when I wanted to do it. It was cheap, but now it's not. There's nothing cheap anymore.
Nothing. There is nothing cheap.
I was just talking to we were just talking before you guys all came in, and Charles and I went this week. Our refrigerator quit. I went to
Okay.
Walmart, well, not Walmart. Went to Lowe's and went to a few other places looking at refrigerators. If you
Right.
think Sticker Shock only talks about automobile buying, go to Lowe's and look at refrigerators.
Yeah. You'll cry.
$3,800 for a refrigerator.
Oh, oh my
I thought I
God.
was going to fall through, and that was not the most expensive one. That's just comparable to what we had.
Wow.
So, and when they say 10-year warranty, it lasted 10 years and 4 months. They want $600 just to dig into it and tell me what's wrong with it. I said, let's go buy another refrigerator. I may regret that decision.
Wow.
They're
Anyway.
masters at that.
Sound any better now, guys?
Yeah.
Much
Yeah,
better.
much better.
Yeah, back to your usual self.
Okay, yeah, I got rid of the high tech, went old school.
Perfect.
That
Just
other one
using
was
the
high
speaker with
tech.
The microphone built into the iPad.
The other one did not sound like high tech.
Oh,
The
that's
other
what
one
you get
sounded
for
like
buying
low
something on
tech.
sale.
Yeah, the other one sounded like 1963.
Yeah.
Bought some fancy headphones, they don't work.
That happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah. I'm afraid I'm old
So I finally
school
got doing
myself.
some hobby type stuff in my shop instead of just work stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Oh wow, tell me all about it.
Haven't been building any airplanes, but shop fixtures.
What you building?
So I figured I'd make up a new mount for my permanent mount for my adjusted jig. I'll just show you.
A new mount for a permanent
So-
mount.
Yeah, my adjusted jig, rather than clamp it to a workbench or anything, even the end plates, I'd made new ones instead of that broken plastic crap.
Oh, very good.
I had a bunch of P-lam material kicking around, so I just made up a permanent support base for it. I don't know if you can see that. There.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
How's
Cool.
that
And
thing
then I'm
working?
doing up another one for, if you see that there.
You know, I've got
For,
an old tube of tin downstairs. I might just
Using
do
with,
that.
you know, the fuselage jigs where you have the vertical blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
I'll just dig out the blocks here.
Whoops.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Drops now.
There goes
Hit the
neighborhood.
floor.
I made up a whole bunch of the sliding blocks and the studs and for wing nuts and all that, just so I could finally get it around to having a universal fuselage assembly jig.
Nice.
Wow,
That's
that
neat.
is
How'd you
cool.
make
Had all the
those?
scrap surplus stuff that I've been hoarding in the way, so I figured it's time to do something with some of it.
Wow.
And then I dug out the material, the phenolic, to make some bell cranks too and whatnot. So
Good
maybe
stuff.
next week I'll actually get some airframes.
Well, you
That's
have to
awesome.
give us all your address so we can order bell cranks and all from you.
How's that wing jig working?
Yeah, that's
I've only used it once. I did my cosmic wind on it, and it worked pretty good. It was a bit tedious punching all the holes, but I'm going to rig up a different system than what came with it. But actually, I'll probably just use a hammer punch for it and see how that works with hole punches. I've got a whole bunch of them. Whatever works. But yeah, it came out really nice on that wing. The only thing I do different is make sure that both rods are behind the spars. Otherwise, you can't do any work on the leading edge or get the lead outs through or anything.
Yeah, they both have to
But,
be behind the spar.
but it
with
worked
that
pretty
jig.
good.
That's the only.
Okay.
That was the
I
only
haven't
paddle
tried
southbound
the
that jig.
fuselage adapters for it, and with that other jig, I probably won't.
Yeah. Big John joined us.
All right. And Eddie Sutter says, I'll be on in a few minutes. All right, Eddie, we look forward to seeing you.
Okay.
And he joined us.
So what's the next project? I mean, you have the jigs, everything.
Well, I've got those 3 ARFs to do, and then I'll be diving into fancherizing a twister.
Ah,
You'll like that one.
I
good.
got 2 SV11s and the whatchamacallit smoothie to do to finish up. One of
I
the
see.
SV11s I haven't even started on.
I see. Internal combustion or electric?
What was that, Troy?
Internal
see.
combustion or electric. The SVs and the
Oh,
other
I'm
stuff.
internal. Yeah,
Everything.
yeah, all internal. I don't have
Cool.
anything electric.
All right.
I've got a couple of refurbished Super Tiger 56s. One of them I got from Randy for the SV11s, and then I'm running that old school McCoy 35 stunt engine or combat engine in the smoothie,
Mhm.
and then I'll probably
Okay.
use my LA40 in the twister.
Wow. Cool.
But I have no shortage of engines in the 35 to 56 size range,
Mhm.
though, so quite a
Cool.
few to pick from. If
That's
the
great,
40
man.
isn't enough, which it should be lots for a twister, I've got the 2 FX 46s, and I think I've got 3 Super Tiger 46s that I could throw on there, and also an AX 46. So between all that, I don't think I'll be hurting for an engine.
No.
No, you'll be fine.
I flew my original twister on a Fox 35 and it flew great, but I put an FP40 on the Stinger, which is my version of the customized twister. It's along the same lines as Ted Fancher's, but we did them at the same time. I hadn't seen Ted's and Ted hadn't seen mine, so I sent him pictures of mine and I got pictures of his, and I can't say great minds think alike because I know Ted and I'm in no way, shape, or form in his category. But we were thinking along the same lines on that plane.
Very good.
I
Needed a longer
flew.
tail moment and straighten the wing leading edge out because it droops so bad between them. Ted is so smart, it's scary.
I
He's
flew a twister on a with a 40 FP. It was
Yeah.
great power motor combination, flying plane and stuff like that. So
Oh, Trayan, got one for you.
Mm.
They've finally confirmed my order, so I have 2 motors headed this way.
yay!
It's about time. It's
Woohoo.
about time.
Yeah, let me catch up on the chat box. Pardon me. Top Brent says, "Hi guys, watching from Ogden, Utah. Getting several Fancher handles ready to ship tonight while listening." You know what, Brent? I mean, Top Brent. Look out for one more. I'm gonna place an order. I've been meaning to get another Ted Fancher handle myself. So be warned. I should be in contact with you shortly.
Ask him make one up for me. I'd like to have one myself.
Did you ever try the handles from the Smith brothers?
Well, yeah, I have one that's just like yours. Unfortunately, I painted mine red, and I'm going to order another one and make it up just like yours. I
Color
put the
doesn't
grooves
matter.
on mine that go between your fingers,
Uh-huh.
and it feels good. But I liked yours without it, so I'm gonna make one up like that.
Okay. Yeah. You can redo yours. Just take the balls out and put new balls in, reshape it, and you're done.
Well, I thought about doing that, but this one's already painted and it looks nice. After putting 3 coats of paint on it and polishing it and all that crap, it looks nice.
If you don't like the feel of it, why? Yeah.
Do what?
If you don't like the feel of it, why continue? It's simple.
Well, I mean, I like the feel of it, but I like the feel of yours better. But I'm gonna
So
go ahead and
make
finish
another
this
one with a better feel then.
Well,
out of that one.
probably will, but see, a couple of the guys here really like that one, and I may just sell that to them and then just order 2 kits for what I get for that one. Because you know what they sell for as a completed handle, and if I can get 60 instead of 80, then I'll just order 2 myself and be done with it. Because I don't mind building them. I kind of enjoy carving and doing that sort of stuff. Everybody else seems to think, oh, this is evidently cutting wood is a lost art because the guys around here all want to just buy it as a finished product ready to use. Nobody wants to do it.
Wow.
And I enjoy the building's half of it for me.
Yeah.
I enjoy building.
I'm a
I love
cheapskate,
building handles.
and
Do
I'm a
it. Do it.
cheapskate. I got the kit from them. I got some balsa in here. I put it on. I was done.
That's what I did. $40. That's what I did.
Are those
I
hard
bought it
points?
down in Atlanta. I'm cheap.
Go ahead, Mark. I know you want to say something.
Oh, I was just gonna kind of catch up on my recent balsa explosion. With
God, that's the truth.
like I said, Dave Tribble, my buddy, he really come to fruition and put something together for me in a week, and I just finished it up today. I'll hopefully get to fly it tomorrow. I'll attempt to share it here if I can do it without making a mess out of the screen. Okay.
Oh, that's
yeah.
pretty.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, that is nice.
I'm a core 35.
Yeah, I'm calling the Tribble Trainer 19 and 7/8.
Cool.
Just,
I like that.
well, I think of the PT19 colors, and it was just, he like this all come out of his head, and he just put it together. Of course, it's a profile, but I think the wing is part like a K5, and then I don't know what the geometry is, but I'm hoping it's going to fly well. And that's the pattern I'm going to put for the.
Oh, I like the canopy.
I like
do
the canopy
too.
also.
That's sharp.
The canopy glass, it's just the paint was a little tacky still, so I'm gonna let that dry. That's just the pattern I got on there, but I'm having fun with it. So yeah,
I like that. That looks neat.
Very good.
That does.
We'll get out and try to keep that out of the grass.
That's nice.
That'd be neat.
I was
neat.
I was
Nice.
just talking to the guys last time around when I had a meeting here, and I was saying like for the beginner flyers and stuff like that, try to picture a path in the sky and focus on the path and then put the plane on it. It doesn't matter what it is, okay? Even if it's a level flight, I mean, just continue the line, look at the line, put the plane, just patch it up, whatever. But it's
That's
a good
really
idea. So if you want to do a loop, if you want to do a loop, just kind of, and you can even practice before you even fly. Just kind of picture a loop on the sky and just look at the circle, right? Just focus on the circle, and then you just with your hand come like this and just put it on a circle,
Just trace it.
and then it's like you have like a the maneuver is drawn on the sky. You look at the maneuver and just put your finger on it. And the same thing you do with a plane. You just look at the maneuver and just boom. And if you learn this right off the back from day one, it can help you a lot, because a lot of us that don't know anything about that now is you learn a certain way and then you don't want to change and you go nuts after that, and it's just like this is the best time to do it.
That's very true. And I even though the little bit of flights that I have and stuff like that, it's almost exactly like you said. It catches myself focusing on the airplane, directly on the airplane, and then all of a sudden, exactly. So that's just a great advice. Sometimes it's the simple things. I tell guys that all the time. About flying real airplanes and stuff like that. I mean, I crop dusted for years. I had to visualize not dragging it through the trees, so I knew where to get out of the trees. So, it was just it's the same thing. But
when you drive, you don't look at the nose of your car or your car. You look where you want to go, right?
Yeah, exactly. It works out better that way. But that's great advice.
Okay, most important thing: put a yellow spinner on it.
Okay.
A yellow spinner, a yellow nose makes it afraid of the ground. My dad always used to say that.
Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, my dad always used to say
Like
that.
the quote from Hitchhiker's Guide.
He had a yellow spinner on it, and he had a flame out dead overhead, and the airplane came down, going down. The last minute, he just barely caught it, and it made a perfect pancake crash. But the nose was safe. The airplane was literally a classic pancake, all right? But the nose was safe. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I got a
All right,
spinner, but unfortunately on that McCoy, the shaft's not long enough for the spinner back plate. So anyway,
Yeah.
sooner or
Oh,
later.
that's easily fixed. That's
shaft
easily
extension.
fixed. I had it done on mine and on my
yeah.
Enya. You just get one of those
okay.
nuts that have the tube on it. Maybe I should dig one out to show you. I got some of them for my Super Tagger too. Instead of just a nut, it's got a sleeve integral to the nut. And you just bore the prop and the spinner back plate out a little bit big to accommodate it, and just go ahead and use it.
Yep.
They're called prop extension nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like exactly the same as a prop extension nut, and that
Like a
works
bullet?
just fine. No, I'll dig one out.
Yeah,
Just hang on.
Yeah, dig one out.
I remember Windy giving me one of those at Brodax one year because my shaft was too short for my prop, my spinner, and all the nuts and washers and everything.
Right.
And he said, I still remember him saying, "Come over to my van. We'll see if we can fix you up." And he opens up the back of his vehicle and he says, "Okay, step into my office." I was shocked at all the stuff he had. I couldn't believe it. He says, "What do you want?"
He
says, "I think what you need is one of these." And he handed me the nut and goes, "Put that on your airplane and see if it works." Perfect. No problem.
Yeah. Don't know if you can see that in the
Like the
picture.
guy.
I said, "How much do I owe you for it?" He says, "You don't owe me anything for it. Have fun."
Oh,
Wow.
That's windy.
Let me click on you, Robert.
There it is. That's exactly it.
Anyway, it's just a nut with that's machined with a
On the ins, yeah, on the one side.
integral to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just put it on the engine.
You might have to enlarge the prop a bit, but that's okay.
Takes care of all your clearance problems.
Yep.
So they're available commercially.
okay.
Paul just made this up for me because it was handy.
I see. So you may have
take care of
to.
your problem.
The inside diameter of it, though, does that go down inside the prop, or does it fit on the
Yeah.
outside
Yeah.
of the prop?
Yeah, that goes inside the prop, so you have to ream your prop out to accommodate.
Gotcha.
And to
Makes
make it
sense.
really work, you need to ream out a
Okay.
washer as
That-
well.
Okay.
that'll go
That
through.
makes
Yeah.
makes perfect sense.
And anyway, it's a tried and true system. The old Fox 35s had the short shafts also. If you want to run a spinner, you have to run one of them. I've got a couple of those too. But yeah, no problem is insurmountable if you set your mind to it and you know your friend with a lathe.
Yeah, it's true.
There you
Or
go.
just move your forward.
Right. I think.
Len,
Yeah.
how are you fixed for spray equipment for mini spray guns?
I've got lots. I've probably got 5 or 6 of them because when I'm painting, I
Okay.
usually have 3 or 4 colors on the go, and so I have paint in 3 different guns at once.
Yeah,
A
I've
lot
been
of
using
times.
one of those minis from Princess Auto, nothing fancy, for several
Yeah,
years.
that's what I use too. I have 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And so
the
everything's
guys in the club,
interchangeable.
if they're right now, Princess Auto has a sale till the 31st for $20 each. So I bought
Yeah.
4 more.
That's
And I had
about what I
$15
paid for
off
them.
coupon too.
Yeah, that's about what I
They're-
paid for
they
them
go
too.
for $48 now regular.
Wow.
So I bought 4 more of them. They work pretty good for a cheapie.
Is that
for
like
sure.
an airbrush, or is it
But
a?
yeah, if anybody in the Balsa Beavers needs a spray gun, this weekend would be the time to buy them.
For sure. I'll let them know if I'm talking to anybody.
Yeah, let me
Yeah, for
interrupt.
you guys in the States, Princess Auto is like Harbor Freight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have
That's
to
the
catch
same
up on
deal.
these chat box, you guys. And I have some good news for you, Phil.
Okay.
Tom Kent says, Phil, looking at the Humbug plan, the main landing gear looks like they are approximately 4.375 inches long from the center line of the axle to the center line of the plywood mount inside the wing panel.
Tell him thank you so much. I've
And
been
then he
trying to
says,
find that for 3 months.
And he says it's 5.25 inches distance from the fuselage wing / engine center line to the ground.
How much?
5.25. So the first measurement is basically what, 4 3/4, and then the distance from the fuselage wing / engine center line to ground is 5 1/4.
5 1/4 inches. All right.
Is that a
Thank you so
tricycle
much. We'll get that thing finished. I got a OS 25 SF that's going on that puppy.
And let me also catch up on the views. We have 18 watchers, only 7 likes. So please smash the thumbs up. That really helps the channel grow. And we have 0 donations, which also helps the channel grow. And our YouTube memberships are only $4.99 a month. That's less than 17 cents a day. So please, now we're up to 9 likes. Thank you very much. Keep it going. And you guys go ahead and take over again.
You guys want to see my new build?
I do.
Yes.
You got a new build?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, check this out.
Ooh, I like
This
these.
is my new profile Spitfire.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's all scratch built.
All scratch built. Can you make me big?
Yeah, you are big.
You're big.
Oh, okay.
You are the big mofo, man.
There we go.
Look at those ribs. Do a close up on the ribs.
There's another like.
Wow.
It's pretty. You did good.
That's nice.
Thank you very
That
much.
looks really good.
Authentic
Yeah, it's
with the wheels.
All it is,
Good.
it's just a Banshee wing with big tips on it. And I shaped the tip so it looks Spitfire-like. And then I put all the scoops and everything underneath on the bottom of it, as you can see. Did the landing gear spats and the whole bit.
Very good.
So yeah,
You know, I
I'm
just
pretty
happened to have
excited.
a Banshee kit downstairs.
You should be very excited. That looks good.
What are your moments?
The nose moment from the leading edge to the prop is I'm gonna have to measure. I'm not sure exactly, but I'll tell you. I don't know them offhand. I'll have to measure it. Hang on, I'll grab a ruler.
It sure looks good.
Thank you.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that too.
So you paint it up as a Mark II or a Mark V?
He didn't say, but we'll ask him when he gets back. That's sharp.
Just
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
the Mohicans back crank.
And you can see how he actually raised the engine too to offset the low wing. I mean, you can see he was using his noodle.
Yeah.
Don't step on it.
Crunch.
Oh, that's something I would do. I've been so clumsy here lately. It's not even funny. Since I got this ear infection, it's been a mess.
Oh,
Is
that's
that tape
up.
measure in inches?
It's probably
He has to
Might be
convert it.
furlongs.
Furlongs.
Measured in furlongs. Yeah.
I was getting us all the moments. Great. That does look really good.
It does.
And it's like he used strip ribs almost. Those ribs are really been hollowed out.
I thought it was strip ribs till he showed the bottom view. It looks good.
Okay, so the nose moment from the nose to the wing is 8 3/8.
All right.
And from hinge line to hinge line, it is 16 and a quarter.
Nice.
Good numbers.
That ought to fly well.
Thank you.
Hey, Lynn, I noticed that you raised the engine a little bit, and because the wing is lowered, I think that's really insightful. You did that.
Yeah, I just took a Spitfire plan and I just kept working it and drawing it and redrawing it and working it and redrawing it until I was happy with it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be awesome.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Good. It looks good.
Thank you very much.
Is that looks like a longer tail moment than usual, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit longer tail moment for sure. Because the
Looks like
Spitfire had a very long tail moment, and I don't think it's going to affect it poorly or in any
No,
way.
Looks like it's set up for a Fox 35.
No, it'll have either a Brodock 40. It's a 53-inch span, so it's a little big for that. Right now, we're at 27 ounces.
Wow.
Now, the antenna, is the antenna made out of balsa or is it some other wood? And how deep is it going to the fuselage?
I'm sorry, say that again?
The antenna behind the canopy, what's it made out of, and how deep does it go into the fuselage?
It's a hardwood dowel.
All right.
It's a hardwood dowel that I actually carved down. I carved it down and airfoiled it like the real antenna. And then at the bottom, it's just round, and then it's stuck into the fuselage. But what I did, until I finished the airplane, I didn't glue it in yet. I can take it out. You see, so that I don't break. So I don't break it while I'm building. Once it's done, it's done.
Already.
Oh yeah,
well, really cool.
That's the idea. I don't want. They're a pain in the butt to make. So what I decided to do was not glue it in till the airplane's finished. It's just pressed in the hole.
I made that mistake when I built my Corsair.
Yeah.
I glued it in.
When you're building it, when you're building it, you're turning it upside down and back and forth and everything else. Eventually, you just snap it off.
Yeah.
I was just happy to get it there, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. I'll glue it in. And now I'm like, what the hell did I do that for? Because I hadn't even rounded over the top of the fuselage yet.
Yeah, and then eventually, then when you turn it over one day to do some painting or whatever, then you bust it and then you curse and swear for half an hour.
So, Lenny, are you going to have a wire going through the antenna to the stab or the vertical stab, the rudder?
I may hook something up to it, but I don't think it'll last. That's the thing. You know?
Well, you can just use a little piece of little thin Kevlar string.
Yeah, something like that for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do for power is I'm going to try the Brodak 40, and if that doesn't work, then I'll put an LA 46 on it.
Good choice.
You can't go wrong there. You can't go wrong there.
The plan.
Seeing as you did it as an early Mark, are you?
Yeah, it's a Mark 1.
With it being done as.
Don't worry about your tail moment being too long. I have my Stinger 17 3/8, and it's perfect.
Okay. Oh, okay.
The only reason
Thank
I
you.
extended it, I had a standard run, and it kept hunting. And I put the longer tail moment on it. Everything was 0-0, and it still, to me, it felt like it was hunting all the time. So I put 17 3/8 on it, and it straightened it out. And everybody that flew the plane wanted plans to it, so it must have been a pretty good airplane. Well, it's still downstairs. It's still downstairs. Yeah, I put a little bit of down thrust in. Everybody said I had too much, but I put a 1/16 of an inch.
That's good.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys. I just wanted to show you
it. Really sharp.
Okay. Thank
so,
you.
Len, with it being an early Mark 1, are you doing it as a Battle of Britain color scheme or later?
It'll be a British color scheme, the original, probably just a brown and green camouflage with the light blue green underside and a black spinner. And
yeah, because I was looking at your single radiator there, so that would be anything from a Mark 1 to a Mark 5.
Yeah, it's a Mark 1. It's a Mark 1.
Oh, okay.
Remember the yellow spinner? Yellow spinner.
No, black spinner. Black spinner only on this one.
Black spinner. And black
I may even try a 3-blade prop on it just to see how that works, because that'll make it look more realistic on the ground. So, and even if I don't fly it with that all the time, I'll keep it as a show prop.
Yeah, but how would you find it on the ground if it's camouflage?
You step on it.
Yeah, when you step on it after getting out of the car, you'll know.
Damn, there that thing is.
You'll hear.
I knew it was
Steve,
around here somewhere.
You'll hear me cursing all the way down to your place, Steve.
It'd be
do you have
kind of
a header
different if you
stack
did it
on
with
the
black and
inboard
white
side
underside,
of the view?
like Battle of France.
What's that?
I was saying, do you have header stacks on the inside of the
alternating black and white underside like they had in the Battle of France?
I don't know if I can get it in close enough, but I don't know if you can see those or not. Yeah, let's turn it this way. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I see the stacks.
Oh, wow.
I hand carved those all out just out of a piece of balsa block.
Wow.
Very sharp, Lynn.
Okay.
Very
thank
nice.
you.
You do good.
So I'm excited to get this finished and get some flights on it, because my old profile Cardinal is so tired. It's had so much. It's had well over 1,000 flights, and it's going on its 14th season. It's tired.
Wow.
I need something.
I bet you had Naomi. I bet you had
must have got one of the prototypes.
I don't think you're talented enough there to do that.
So
what's that, Steve?
I said you probably had Naomi carve them out because I don't think you're talented enough, Glenn.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
So Len, are you from Scottish stock?
No.
Oh,
No.
because
Here's the story on. Here's the story on the Spitfire. The first airplane I ever saw fly, a bigger type airplane, was a 35 size scratch-built Spitfire. And ever since I was a kid and saw that, I've wanted to build a Spitfire, but up until the last probably 10 years, I didn't have the skills to build it. Now I do, and now I built one.
Good.
What was your build time?
I started it in December.
This
Oh,
is a
that's
good
all
time.
right.
Of 2017.
Smart guy. 2020, Steve.
Come on here for a little fun and fellowship. What do you get?
Yeah, I should have known. Payback's going to be.
If your friends can't talk to you that way, who can?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, I owe him big time. He gets a lot of them here coming his way for a while.
Oh, yeah.
After that stooge comment that a lot of you missed, but
yeah, I get what I deserve.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the stooge comment, but it must have been
So,
a good
Len.
one because he zinged you pretty good a few times.
Yes, Tryon.
Len, what I was thinking, like, if you next time, if you're really fanatic and you want to get the elliptical looking wing, all you
I'm
have
going
to
to build
do,
the windy one next.
no, you don't even have to do that. Just make a new I-beam for it and make a true I-beam wing. So when you put your leading edge, you put the curve leading edge, and you put your ribs just as normal. It's nothing changes.
I
And now
could
you
do
have
that too.
And you have a true elliptical wing.
Yeah, that's true. Now this isn't I-beam. This is just standard ribs with little riblets in between.
Oh, I see that.
This is not an I-beam. It's a standard. This is just a Banshee wing. But what I did when I built the wing is I carved out a lot of extra wood to lighten it up. I carved out all the ribs to about half inch.
I get it. But yeah,
It really looks good, Lynn.
you can definitely do that with I-beam relatively easy and an elliptical wing with I-beam construction.
Yeah, I'm sure that would work too. I may try that.
Make a spar, and instead of doing the Billy Warwatch I-beam when he puts the cap strips on top and bottom and carbon fiber in between, just leave it a flat sheet of balsa, right? And put notches in it. Okay. So now when you put your ribs inside, put the notches. And once you're done with everything, take a unidirectional carbon fiber, put it under all the ribs, so it's kind of following a straight direction, and C8 in place. Done.
Yeah, that would work.
Super easy.
Good idea.
Yeah. One of Wendy's was an I-beam also.
Yes, it was. The second last one that he built. Not the last one, the second last one. The 99 one was I-beam.
It was not a real I-beam wing. It was just still, I think he called it an I-beam wing, but in reality, he still made the ribs and stuff like that. So, I mean,
I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and look at the video. I'm not sure, but I thought it was I-beam. I'm not sure.
No, it was not built as an I-beam. It looked like an I-beam wing from the outside,
Well,
but I don't think it was a true I-beam wing.
You're calling it. Both of them have an I-beam, but one of them is built with strip ribs, and one of them is built with built-up ribs.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they're both I-beams. They both have the I-beam in the center.
Okay.
I know one thing. The 99 plane was light. To be as big as it was light. It was beautiful.
Hey,
was a master painter.
what kind of refrigerator do you have?
The one I have is a Samsung. The one I bought some A-Tag. I bought something U.S. made this time. I'm tired of hearing we can't get the parts for 3 months. I was telling the guys earlier, you weren't here yet, Steve. If you think sticker shock only applies to cars, go to Lowe's and look at refrigerators. $3,800 for a refrigerator.
Yep.
I thought I was going to fall out.
Or did you get it with a TV on it and everything?
No, sir. No, sir. They got them with doors within the front door and all that stuff. I didn't get all that. I'd like to have, but I just ain't got that kind of money.
Well,
I mean, I'm retired, man. I'm on a fixed income. I can't do stuff like that. I have to plan.
did they take your old one away or not?
They're supposed to come tomorrow and take the old one away. And I know they're going to use it for parts, and I just don't care. Everybody has said, well, you can sell the old one for parts. I don't want the thing hanging around here. I've done so many things in my life where I'll do this or I'll use that, and all it's got me is a bunch of piles of crap around my basement and shop.
Right.
I want them to haul it away and forget
Now,
about it.
what it is that they're not going to scrap it or use it for parts. They're going to fix it. It's about a $20 fix, and then they'll sell it.
Probably.
It's usually on all home refrigerators. What goes on them is it's not a true potential relay, but I call them a potential relay. It's an electronic potential relay. You have power outages and stuff like that. It takes them out. And I just replaced the one on mine after our last.
Naomi, hi.
Hey, Naomi.
Hey, Naomi, stick around. We hardly ever have any women.
Hey, Naomi.
Oh,
we had our chance, guys.
Oh.
We had her and we lost her.
We blew it.
She has he's got a red deal up there, and he's got his mic shut off.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
We had
Steve,
a
I may
chance.
call you tomorrow and ask you where that thing is, if you know where to find it or what it looks like, because I could put this old one in the basement.
Hey guys, I suspect Charles is gonna put a little plane out.
I'm thinking about it.
I'll tell you in the after party.
He's getting ready.
He's getting ready.
You know what? The only thing about refrigerators is it reminds me of food, and that's something I really love is food. I can't go very long without it, as you can see. But anyways, let me catch up on the chat box, you guys. And I got some more good news for you, Phil. Top Brent said that Bob Barron was using an 8x5 rev up prop on his humbug plans. So if you are using a 9-inch plus prop, you might benefit from a longer gear. With the stock gear, you'll only have 3/4 inch clearance to the ground.
3/4 inches, man, that's a mile. That's I don't have anything has over 1/2 inch.
Anyways, then we have another guest on here. I'm terrible with names, so forgive me. I think it's Keegan, that's Keegan, and then Spoonholtz or Sponholtz, that's Sponholz. He says, "Hey folks, been a while since I've been active in a control line circle. Anyone have experience with Jim Sahabi's magician?" Like, yeah, I know Mark does. Anyways, that's my comment. Mark does. But, yeah, might be building one here soon. And Montana Farmer says the wing on the full-size Merlin GT airplane is very similar to a I-beam wing.
I got it, he's right.
Home-filled D-cell leading edge, very similar to the I-beam design. Yeah, Keegan, Mark has a magician. Are you working on it, or is it finished? I forgot, Mark.
It's finished. It's the one in Africa. I couldn't bring it back on this trip, but yeah, it's finished over there. So it needs to get in the air. It's probably good because that may have been the one that would have planted in the ground last week. if I'd had it here, so. Yeah.
Now, is yours Midwest magician, or is yours the Jim Sahabi magician?
That one is the 43-inch wingspan.
Jim Sahabi.
Was the original.
Right.
I believe the Midwest is the 40.
That's the Brodak magician.
Yeah.
Right. Correct. Yeah. And then the 48-inch.
The Midwest one's 48.5.
Yeah, 48.
Yeah.
Correct.
Charles, tell him thank you for me. I just added it up in my head, and he's exactly right. I wouldn't have had that much clearance. I'll use a longer gear. He's exactly right.
Yeah, Top Brent, you're absolutely right. Fantastic, and I guess you heard Phil say thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I had not thought about that.
Hey, Len, what happened to Naomi? She got out of her restraints, I see, for a second. What, you locked her back in the bedroom?
No, she just got home from work.
Oh.
So she's getting into her civvies.
Oh, I thought she had her restraints from the bedroom and she come out and say hi to us.
No.
The kitchen.
Yeah, she came out. She came and waved, but she didn't say anything because my mic was turned off.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Yeah. Charles, you know.
So I just looked up Windy Spitfire, the I-beam style one.
Okay.
It's an I-beam sort of construction built into the wing, but he's got an upper and a lower separate spar, but the strip ribs are joined by vertical pieces, look like they're glued to each rib and the spar. So he basically built a real hybrid between a conventional D-tube and an I-beam.
It was Lincoln log. It was called a Lincoln log.
Okay.
They did this for a while, and then the new millennium was born. It's just an easier wing to build.
Yeah, that was in one of the CL guys' videos.
Yeah, Tom Morris came up with that rib. I did use those on my Jameson Special. And then the next plane I did, I talked to Tom, and he said, try it this way. And it's Lincoln, went from Lincoln log to New Millennium, which is the strip ribs. You make a spar, full depth spar, and then you slice down into it. And the ribs are even with the top of the spar. But they're I-beam looking spars, but they come through the rib, cut through the rib. And it makes a really nice wing. And once you get it all glued up, it's a really strong wing. And very light. Very light. They're nice. Tom Morris did a lot more for us than people give him credit for. Yes, sir.
Phil, I never managed to get your email address to send you the Mo Best article.
I put it on Stunt Hangar, but I'll try it again, Peter. I'll just put it up. How you spell your last name, Peter? And I'll put it up there with the whole name.
It's spelled Nancy Edward Victor Alpha India, Nevai.
Nevai. Okay.
Nancy Edward Victor Alpha India.
You know, as many years as I was a pilot, I haven't been in the last 15 years, well, nearly 20, 18 years since I fell off a bucket truck and lost my medical. They said I'd get dizzy and have all these problems, and I never have had any of those problems. But I guess I just got a hard head. But anyway, I have forgotten how to speak phonetically. I was trying to tell somebody the other day, and I really had to struggle thinking about it. But anyway, I'll have to brush up on that. But I used to love to fly. I would rather fly than eat.
I'm curious why Peter said Nancy. What branch of the service were you in? Because we said November.
Actually, it's November, but well, it hairs.
I just thought it. That's all.
Actually, in the 30s and 40s,
November.
The phonetic alphabet changed. It used to be like, instead of Alpha Bravo, it was Alpha Baker.
Yeah, I remember.
And
I remember hearing stories of that.
You know, so when you said Edward too, that's also was.
Yeah, that's Echo.
Yeah, it's November Echo Alpha.
Yeah,
he was in there.
India.
Yeah, but it did change.
You remember, Eddie? That's one of the first things they taught us in Navy boot camp was the phonetic alphabet, man.
Yeah, they taught you that in the Air Force too, but that's been a long time ago. My memory.
Yeah, right.
Good anyway.
Yep, that and chain of command.
Hey,
in the Marine Corps, they said you don't have an alphabet, so.
I got a question. Who here glued in a wing the wrong way today?
Oh, geez.
That would be me. Brendan, I glued it in upside down. Yeah, my lightning streak that I told you all I was working on with the lead outs. So yeah, I glued in the wing upside down into the fuselage. So I had to use an oscillating tool to rip that out and put it in the right way.
Brendan, don't feel bad because we're going to do a poll right now. How many of us in their entire lifetime since they started building models have ever glued a wing in upside down? Raise your hand. Oh, really? That's it?
I've never done it.
John?
No, but I have put in a belt crank backwards.
Okay. All right. Who's glued a
Put
tip?
all my belt cranks in
Who's
backwards.
put the tip weight box on the top of the wing instead of the bottom?
Hey, it's more accessible that way.
Twice. I did it twice. I mean, after the first time I did it twice.
But then the weights don't fall out.
Don't feel bad
The
about it.
weights
I'm
don't
picking
fall-
up
You tried to make me feel better, but I was out on an island for gluing a wing upside down. So.
You're
Well,
fine, man.
How
Don't
many
worry
people
about it.
have? How many people have taken a kit they've waited on for 6 months? It finally comes in, and they're in such a hurry they make two right sides.
Now that I've done, and I've also
that was
glued in the crutch in upside down. I was trying to give
Oh, I
it
never
down
did that.
incidence, and when I got done, it had up incidence.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
I
I tell you
put
what, we're human.
That's right.
We're human, and it shows.
I put a motor on the wrong side of a profile.
I did that
Well,
when I was on the plans.
I've done that. I've
The
done
thing
that.
was, it was a profile.
Bearcat.
No. Shit. Then it was an electric motor. First one that goes. Yeah, I can't.
That thing with wings.
They
Yeah,
say it's the second thing,
yeah,
to go,
right.
but I can't remember what the first one was.
Top Flight. Oh shit. Nobler. It was a profile Nobler. And it was designed to have the engine and the tank on the inside. So I go and build the thing and said, well, shit, they got all this stuff marked wrong. I built it. I got looking at the plans and I'm like, well, hell, it was made to have the engine on the inside. I built it on the outside.
And that's what I
had to
prefer.
be.
There's a Bearcat
I
like
have
that too, isn't it?
I have a Bearcat downstairs, Frank Williams designed, that's got the motor on the inside. The only thing about it, you got to use a heck of a lot of tip weight. You better build a big tip weight box because it takes 1.5 ounces, I think, to balance that thing. But boy, it flies nice.
The
You know, when
worst
I've
I've done
flown
is
that,
to
I would
put
think
a,
that it would get rich. I'd lean it out as lean as I can, get in the air, and the plane would get rich. When I had everything on the inside of the plane.
I didn't have that problem. I didn't have that problem. Ran fine. Of
the
course, we used
worst I've done is
plastic
to
tanks.
put the
What I read up on,
put a weight box on the top of the wing instead of the
what I
bottom.
read up on,
I'll bet.
yep, I read up on that. He's the guy on the Bearcat was having problem with the glow plug flooding out, so he wanted it put on the inside so the centrifugal force would keep the fuel away from the glow plug.
Yeah. Well, let me
That's what I
tell you two
read.
things about that. One, the guy that did it is Frank Williams. The next year or the year after that, he came out with a tune pipe airplane where the tune pipe came out the front of the motor.
Who's
then
doing the
turned and
dishes?
and went down.
Yes.
And I kept thinking this guy has completely flipped out. But let me tell you something.
Oh, I've done that.
Frank Williams is.
I was so embarrassed I had to cut it out and put it on the other side.
Frank Williams is an honest to God rocket scientist. What he does, he has reasons for. But don't ask him because he will explain it to you. He's a very nice guy and he will explain it to you. But it will take a while. Frank is very, he is very smart. But he will explain it to you. And there's a lot to it. He goes into theory that I can't keep up with. Yes, sir.
You're building a Bob Barron airplane, the Humbug.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting ready to share with you Bob Barron's P8, I think it's 6 or PA8, whatever it was. Strange looking airplane. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the one that had that's the one that had the 35 in it, that Combat 35 that screamed. Tune pipe run before we knew what a tune pipe was on a model airplane.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's PA3 maybe it was 8. I thought it was
No,
3.
PA6, the PA6.
6. That's
He
it.
said 35. I thought it had a 40 in it. Not that it matters. But
Bill, did you get your package yet?
Yes, sir, I did. Thank you, Eddie. I was going to tell you that and I forgot. That's it. Yeah.
That's a beautiful wing.
yeah, scoot down a little bit. It should say
There it is.
fuselage too.
Okay.
Yeah, the fuselage is upside down. It looks like it's yeah, there it is.
It
Oh, okay.
It's a strange looking airplane, but they fly really well.
it
Does it have twin booms?
No,
that's
no.
what I understand. Somebody brought one to VSC years back.
No, that doesn't have twin booms.
No,
That's just
I
a
remember
fuselage.
seeing one at VSC years
That's-
back, but I don't
That's the one.
remember seeing it.
It's got twin rudders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, twin rudders.
Like the Olympic.
The one that I saw
Yeah.
had a Super Tiger 35 on it. It was just screaming. It was a Combat 35, great big Venturi, turning a 4-pitch prop, and it was just screaming its brains out. Of course, there was no muffler on it, and it flew great, but man, it was loud. Everybody would volunteer to hold for him once.
What size?
Only once.
What size wing is that?
I think it was 54. It seemed like. I can't
wow.
remember exactly.
You're talking about not anybody
I'm
wanting
looking
to
on
hold.
here to see if there's any.
I
Talking
don't
about
see it on
nobody
there.
wanting to hold it.
But you
They-
see back
nobody-
here in the back here?
There was 2 airplanes that I held once and refused to ever hold again.
Yeah, back there.
I don't see it. That one for Bob Barron and Rusty Brown had a Taurus with a Fox 59 and no muffler. Trust me, if you ever held it once, you never wanted to hold it again. My ears were ringing. My ears rang for 2 days after that thing.
Oh wow!
I don't know what fuel he ran in that thing. I ran Fox fuel in my Fox 59, all of them. But he must have had 10% in that thing because it had a nitro crack to it that got in your ears and just, oh my God, hurry up and launch this thing. It hurt.
Hey,
You
John,
launched
you
a
got that
Fox
over there.
59? What? What?
You knows how-
Ran a Fox
you knows how-
59? What? Yeah.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's
Well,
it.
it's no different than a profile with a greenhead torpedo on it and the muffler spraying you right in the face.
Yeah. I tell you what, I've got Fox 59s by 3 different people, and the one your dad did, Dennis, is still the best running one I've got. Thank you, John. That was nice. I enjoyed that. I haven't seen one of those in
Like a
years.
friggin' coin
That was
machine.
a neat plane.
I think that's Ice Machine.
He did a bell crank on the Humongous. It's on the original plans, and your bell crank fed a plate that was just a straight plate, but your push rod going back to your elevator came off of this piece over here, and the hole in this one wasn't just round; it was oblong. So the bell crank was isometric, and it really, everybody thought it smoothed out near neutral. It didn't. It worked just the opposite. As you pull back on it, you really got into it to pull up. It gave you more up at the ends and a lot more control at the ends. And you could turn a hard corner with that thing, but they weren't real well supported. And eventually your bell cranks all broke. So mine just has a conventional bell crank in it. I'm crazy, but I'm not looking for any torn up airplanes. Now, if it's something, that one Trayan's got his now is fully adjustable, but it's A metal and it's B supported. It's a whole lot better built piece than. I'll dig out that print and show y'all Monday night. It's not very substantial unit, so I did not use it. I built one. I gave it to somebody and he used it for about 200 flights. He laughed at me because this works great, and then it didn't one day. And about 200, I think he had 236 flights on that airplane. Said he was just getting it really good and broke in, and it went in the asphalt. And I mean, there wasn't much left. But I told him when he asked for it, I told him I won't use it. The reason it's sitting there instead in this plane, I won't use it. I don't think it's substantial enough. He was going to brace it, and he did not. He put it in the airplane, and it went in. But he tore a really nice shoestring up. But he had really powdered us with that shoestring for about 3 months. It really flew well. His shoestring flew better than mine. But anyway, that's okay.
Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, yeah, a newbie question. You got me thinking now. On the weight, you were talking about the weight box being on the top or the bottom.
The opening for it, Mark, where you get into it to put the weight in. It shows if you put it on the top.
Gotcha.
On the bottom, you can hide it.
Makes sense. Got it. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
just
one of those.
on the bottom.
Got you.
We hide it on the bottom, but I did make a mistake to put it on the top one time.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. And to beat that, to make it really insult to injury, it was on a biplane, and I put it on top of the wing.
On top of the top wing?
Yeah.
It was easy to find, wasn't it?
It was easy to find, yeah. I got my wings mixed up, and I know, well, even that don't explain it because it was going to be on top.
Well,
I thought it was, I don't know what happened.
What
but
do
I
you
ended
do
up, I got so mad, I took it out, and I put a little bit of weight in the top wing, and I put a little bit of weight in the bottom wing, added up to about a little over 1/4 of an ounce. And then on the end strut, it had a crossbar anyway. So I started out with that crossbar out of wood, and I realized I needed to add another 1/4 ounce of weight. I took the wooden crossbar off, made one out of lead, and put it back on there. Plane has flown like that now for about 5 years. So ST5A flies great.
You guys, let me interrupt for a second. We have James Smith. I think that's Jim Smith, right? But James says, "Hey guys," and then he said, "Got my like in for you, Charles. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, James." We have 24 viewers right now. We're up to 19 likes. So continue to please hit the thumbs up button and get the thumbs up for me. I appreciate it. And also the super chats count and help. And the likes and shares and subscribe are important also. And the memberships. The memberships are important. I also wanted to say hi, Steve, and hi, Mike. Hi, Tom. Hi, Tom. You guys snuck in on me. I didn't notice you. And hi, John. Thanks for coming in tonight. Appreciate it.
Who's the heavy breather?
Yeah, right. I was just gonna ask, man.
Darth Vader.
Not sure.
I think it's Gary.
Yeah. Gary's still right.
Gary.
Barely.
Speaking of the biplanes, where do you put the weight box on a biplane wing? Top wing or bottom wing?
Yes.
Yes.
Seriously, I put it in the middle. Seriously, I put it in the middle. I've had it in the top. I've had it in the bottom. And I ended up, it doesn't look as good unless you can hide it like I did. Just get lucky and hide it. But put it in between, and where it seems to work the best, and it's easy to get to. Well, any biplane is going to have some kind of spar out there between those two wings. Put it on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it don't look as good, but it works, and you can hide it. You can make it look like something. Or Tom Looper made his look like he made like a teardrop, filed it down. Tommy's a master file with a file anyway, but he filed his down and put it where it just looks like a little blip on the outside of one of the end struts. But his plane didn't have a crossbar on it, so he couldn't hide it like I did. But he put his on that and just put it on the inside of it where centrifugal force wouldn't throw it off, and just glued it on. Mine's bolted on. But, just get creative with it. Just have a little fun with it.
Okay, I'm curious because I've got a couple of biplanes. I got that one kit. Remember, I showed you y'all. Yeah. It was last year sometime when I got it. That gull wing biplane. It's 1940s, 50s, somewhere around in there.
Like a stagger
so I'll end up putting. Yeah, I'll put some. I need to put some weight on it, I'm sure, but I just didn't know where I should put it.
Yeah, just put it in the middle.
Plus, I've got plans for about 6 or 7 different. I've got the Fokker triplane, Fokker biplanes, the Newports, a lot of shoot. I don't know what all I've got, but I got several.
Yeah.
Good.
I was looking through my plans the other day, and I have too many. I won't live long enough to build all those planes, but
I won't either. I looked at mine and I thought, well, if it takes me 6 months to build each plane, it'll take me another 15 years to build planes.
Yeah. All right, I got a question, and it's a doozy. But Mr. Adamison, sir, if you were doing the Strega again, God, I tell you, second thing to go. I can't remember what the first one was. Anyway, if you were doing the Strega again, what electric motor would you put in it, and what battery would you put in it? And the reason I ask, I have one downstairs that I've started building into a Turbo Raven, and it's starting to look real well, but I'm to the point of putting a fuselage together. And I'm really
There's
starting
a lot
to
of
think,
choices now. I'd probably look at something like a 3520 motor with 6 cells, maybe a 12 or 13 inch prop, probably a 13.5.5.
okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was kind of thinking,
Yeah,
just go with a big motor.
yeah. The one I did, the original one I did for Brodak was built on the ARF, and that thing was 80 ounces. All right. I used a 3526, and it had the first 6 cell system that anybody had put in the stunt plane. Because I didn't believe, the people were just trying 5s then, and I didn't think the 5 had enough guts for it. I put 6 in it, and the combination works terrific, but it's really overkill. If you can, you can go at less. So, now you got a lot of good 3520s available in 5 and 6 cell power systems and stuff. Real easy, real easy. And if you're building it up yourself, I'll bet you're going to beat 80 ounces too.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's going to be. The wing is much lighter than I expected it to be, but
Yeah.
it's still going to be a Strega wing. It's super thick. It's going to be draggy as heck. So,
Well, my brother has got the original Strega that we did with the 6 cell system, and he just to prove it out, he bought a high kV motor, and he's going to have it repowered now. He's got a 3 cell 3520 for it. All right.
Wow.
Just to prove that it can be done. And he's got the 6 cell parts ready to put back in it if he wants. But yeah, he did a bunch of stuff. He rebuilt the nose and stuff like that. Between the power system and the changes he made in the nose, he actually took 7 ounces off the airplane.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah, even on an airplane the size of the Strega, that's almost 10%. So
I built a new tail for mine, the one that's on Tommy's plans, and that new tail is almost 2 ounces lighter than the original tail. I think mine had been soaked in something, because there is no way I can believe that tail was supposed to be that heavy. Mine came out really, really heavy, and I built a new tail for it. It's a lot bigger than the Strega tail, and it's got the tips. It's supposed to have an inch on each side of those counterbalances. I didn't do that. I've got counterbalances on it, which are only 1/4 inch wide. They're supposed to be over an inch.
Yeah.
But it's all hollow cord, built like an Al Raby tail. It's airfoiled and built up and then sheeted. Steve, I don't know what that thing is behind you, but that is a beautiful airplane. I love that paint job.
That's
Can you hear me?
Hold on a minute. I gotta get back.
The Tobler.
I don't know
Peter,
what
was he trying to show, Peter?
That is a beautiful airplane. I love that tail.
I just built that today.
Yeah. Okay.
You're a fast builder.
I'm telling you, honest God truth. I was working on it when I was talking to Dennis.
we were talking at 11 o'clock. He said he was going to build the airplane and have it show off tonight.
Really? You can show that one off, because that's a beautiful paint scheme. Oh my God, it's got too many wings. It's a biplane.
So Phil, what I want to say is that when you build your plane, make sure the fuselage is light, and don't put all of that wood in there. That's nice, Steve. I like that. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm
now look at the paint job that's on a plane.
mine's not going to be near as
well. You all like the paint job, but if you look at the paint job in general, like it's whatever it's on a fuselage, it's transposed to the wings and the elevator.
Yeah, I see it.
Same thing. And I tell you every time, if you do that, you do a paint job on a fuselage, put it on the wings, you are a winner, I think, over 90% of the time.
And that is actually painted.
Yeah.
Control
Nice.
line planes don't usually have rudders that move.
Yeah, well, that's pretty.
It's a upgraded Raby rudder.
Yeah, okay. What the heck is that,
Dennis,
Steve?
and Dennis, I have a question for you.
That's the RC pattern plane.
Oh, I know that, but what is it?
It is called an Olympus.
Well, it sure is pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And what's crazy is that when you look online, and even in the instructions, it shows a decal set with all that on there. And I'm like, well, that'll give me something to do. When I get it here, there's no decals. Everything's painted on them now.
It sure is pretty.
But it comes with a 70 amp speed control, 45, 20, 550 electric motor. Now speed control. And then all the servos are all metal gear servos and everything. It was 200 with tax, 200 and I'm gonna say $70-something or whatever.
Wow, pretty impressive.
And everything. So I'm building that one and this one.
Uh-oh.
That's a PT-19.
I was going to say, that looks like a PT-19. That's sharp.
And what my thinking is, that was on sale. I got that one for like $124. But the deal is, I have all these batteries of Samantha's. I mean, I got 9 6-cell 2800s and a whole crap load of 4-cell 35s and 28s. And this airplane here, the PT-19 uses 4-cell, and the other one uses 6 cells. So I got the battery. I already had the motor for that. I'm not going to use in control line now, and because it was the wrong one. And that's the right one for that. So I figure I might as well use up the stuff I have.
What, is Samantha through flying now?
Yeah, but more than likely, they won't even make LiPo batteries by the time she starts flying again.
Yeah.
If she does fly,
Can't argue to that point. It seems like it always changes.
But who knows when she will. But there's no sense of them just sitting there waiting for her to decide if she's going to or.
Yeah, that's true.
Steve, that's cool.
Wow.
So, Dennis, I had a question for you.
Yes, sir.
When you said the 3520, the 3515 motor for feel, you're referring to the Cobra kind of designation, right?
Well, the internal dimensions designation.
Okay, I get you. I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which to me is the only one that makes sense. I don't like using the external dimensions.
I get it.
They're a little unreliable.
Okay.
The power section of the motor is the diameter and the length of the magnets.
Yep.
So
that makes sense. Yeah.
So Cobras, Axes, the badass motors. I tried to make the Brodak motors that way. They're all based on internals, and I think Turnigy was based on externals. Some of the European motors have they have like an external dimension, and then the length will be something like L or XL or something like that. I don't like that at all. But
yeah, that's what I have on mine.
Yeah, and the worst ones of all are E-Flight, and they're Power 25. What the hell is a Power 25?
Good question.
Yeah, exactly.
There isn't anything about that you can use.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, yeah. But so the feel for your information, the 3520, it's actually the 4250 you have.
Okay.
So you can put a joker on it directly.
Yeah. Well, the motor you're using Joker motors, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not familiar with those at all.
They use the outside dimensions, by the way. 42 is the outside diameter and the overall length of the motor. But the equivalent to it is a Cobra 3520.
Yeah, that would be like a 4250 based on external dimensions.
Yes, that's what I have. Yeah.
Although some
Heck of
might
it
be
is-
42, 52 or something like, they sometimes they get a little bit longer or something like that, depending on how they stack up the ends. So I think the internal dimensions, if you can get that information, is more dependable. If you're really going motor to motor to motor.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Is there a chart?
That makes sense.
Is there a chart that shows a conversion if you want to go like I say to electric to what an electric motor would be equivalent to? So if you have a plane that calls for a 46 engine, I wouldn't have a clue what size electric motor. Is there a chart somewhere that tells you what it's equivalent to?
Sure is. Go to the Brodak website. I put a chart up there.
Okay.
And what you have to go to your I forget the tab. I think it's called specifications, and you go there. There's a Brodak power chart, and on that, the thing that I used as the common thread was the size of the prop. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're going to use an LA-46, what size prop are you going to use? Probably 11.6, maybe a 12.5, something like that, right? So go over to the diameter for a 12-inch prop, and then read the electric components that go along with that. And of course, it's listing all the Brodak stuff, but you can use brand X stuff of similar size, and you're going to be in a happy place. All right.
Okay.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Yeah, the stuff is pretty conservative too. It's, if anything, it's a little oversized rather than undersized, for the props. Just because I believe I'd rather use a slightly larger motor than a just barely big enough motor. So
me too.
Yeah, my Romanian friend in Atlanta agrees.
100%.
Yeah,
me too.
100%.
I use your chart myself. That's what I've been using since I started.
Yeah. Everybody thinks.
What we sell on glow engines? What do you use an LA-46 on twisters for?
I've never had an LA-46 on a twister, but I've got.
Well, that's it. You don't need an LA-46 on a twister, except it just settles the question, once and forever, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, worst case, worst case, you come out of Venturi or something like that, and everything's happy. So
yeah. One thing about an LA-46, you can put that thing on such a variety of airplanes, and it works. But you can do the same thing with electric, because all you got to do is tone it down. Turn the RPM down, turn it down a little bit. You might be carrying more weight than you need for the weight you've got, the power size plane you've got. But it's better to have it not need it than need it not.
Phil is not true.
It's not.
It's never true, because if you have a big electric motor, you have a small ESC and a small battery. So whatever you pay on a motor, you're gonna save it down the line and then some.
Well, that's true. That's very true.
So it's not actually true.
One thing I like about the electric. That's true. Here we go again. But one thing I like about the electric, if the motor is oversized, you put an undersized prop on it, it doesn't race away the way a glow motor would.
Yeah.
No.
All right. You want it to run 10,000 RPM, no matter what size prop is, it's going to do its darndest to deliver 10,000 RPM. So.
Yep.
So
that's the neat thing about it.
And I don't know. I digress.
And for the same prop and the same RPM, different motors will gonna use different amperage and different power settings. As the smaller, if the motor is too small, has lots of amperage, not only that it gets hot trying to get the job done. I mean, it's gonna commit suicide, but he's still gonna try to do the job, and it's gonna get hot. So you're wasting a lot of energy. But as the motor gets bigger and bigger, very little amperage, little load on it. So that accelerator.
I
got Peter
Len. All right.
Yeah.
What that is? Len?
Well, he has to be awake for that.
I think we lost Len.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys, Peter wants to say something. Go ahead, Peter.
Okay. I just have an update on the update on the Spirit of Saginaw if anybody ultimately wants to build that kit.
All right.
So what I've done is I've got to the point where I've turned around and I've installed the bell crank mounts. And as you can see there, we have little posts sticking up for the basically the pivot point for the bell crank mount. The interesting thing is when you go through the instructions, it goes and describes sheeting the leading edge, putting the trailing edge sheeting on, putting on the cap strips and everything else. But it absolutely totally neglects on what you do with the center section of the wing. It doesn't tell you how to sheet it or how to set it up. The one thing I noticed is that is in regards to mounting the bell crank. They say, of course, you take and you cut that flush with the top of the center rib. That's the big fat center rib right there, and you solder a washer to the top and the bottom. However, since it doesn't discuss how you sheet the center section of the wing, it doesn't tell you whether you have to turn around and now cut a hole in the sheeting so the soldered washer that you put on top and the bottom doesn't force the sheeting to stick up from the rib, or do you turn around and sheet the center of the wing and then solder the washer on top and the bottom? I know what I'm going to ultimately do. I don't even believe I'm going to solder a washer to the top and the bottom. I will epoxy that in place and then cut it flush and make sure it's flush with the top of the ribbon and sheet over it. But I figured I'd just put that out there to whoever is going to potentially build the kit. And that is one. I don't know if I should contact Brodak and say that the instruction sheet, the instruction booklet that comes with it, completely neglects to mention how you would go about sheeting the center of the wing. And addressing that part of it as well as making the cutout for the push rod or anything past that. At any rate, that's where we are with the Saginaw build. And at this point, what I'm going to do is, as you can tell, I still have the Brodak wing jig tubes still in there. Those will come out as soon as I sheet the leading edge and the center section at the top of the wing. This way I make sure I don't build any warps into it. And then the bell crank will be installed, and then the rest of the wing sheeted. And then it's time to sand and then install the wing into the fuselage. And maybe by Monday we should be there. Anyway, that was my contribution.
That looks good. That looks good.
Looks
Peter.
nice. Looks nice.
Peter, is that a built up or a profile?
No, the Spirit of Saginaw is a Brodak kit. It's a profile.
Okay. I just forgot.
Kind of looks like a T-38. Was it Grandpa?
Yep. They didn't like to mention anything about sheeting the center section of the wing in their book. I mean, for an experienced builder, it's no big deal, or anybody that's been building models for a while. But if you're fairly new and you decide to select this kit to build, then it's one of the little ambiguities that somehow you fell through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be awfully tempted, Peter. I don't know how much work it would be, but you get a bolt like that sticking out. I'd be awfully tempted to find a way to groove it into the fuselage or something like that, and bury the top and bottom of the wire right in the fuselage and have it all tied together. Boy, that'd be tempting.
Yeah, it is rather tempting, but the only reason it doesn't lend itself that much to it, because here you can see here's the fuselage.
Yeah, there's nothing there below.
There's nothing down here really.
Mm-hmm.
It's all up here. But yeah, that would absolutely be worthwhile. It certainly survive any pull test.
Well, it gives you something to hang on to when you're pull testing. You hang on. It's literally you'd be hanging on to the bolt, so which is where you want to be.
Yeah, unfortunately, the fuselage, I can do it for the top, certainly, and then just pull the pin up so it's flush with the bottom of the sheeting on the wing. But that, I don't know, that kind of throws a weird ass offset, to where it's just going to be pulling towards the top of the wing, and then I'll just make it flush with the top of the ribbon, sheet over it, and do it standard, typical profile manner.
Yeah, you're only going to be pulling about 20, 25 pounds on it anyway. So
that's it. It's not a big airplane.
Yeah, 2.5 pounds or so tops. 40 ounces.
So is that a floating bell crank?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I just always just stick a piece of plywood on top of the deal.
Well, what you couldn't see in the other thing is it's a floating bell crank, but if you can see it better here, there's your top bell crank mount. That's the plywood goes on the top, and then there's the exact same thing on the bottom.
So right now
the crank floats right in that space in between.
Yeah, but you could now. Can you grab that and move the piece of steel in and out right now?
That's great. Yeah, obviously I didn't put the bell crank in yet, but yeah, I can pull that right out.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so you could do that too. There's space there below the sheeting. You could just cut that to where it's flush with the wood and glue on just a little square.
You mean sheet it and then put another little square piece of plywood on top and below, like a standard profile now?
Yeah, you can do it that way. Slide it right in the fuselage too.
Yeah, there's a number of ways to skin this cat. I just wanted to highlight the fact that it's one area of the instructions that pretty much are not covered at all. They tell you to install the suspended bell crank between that top plate and this bottom plate, and that bell crank goes into the space in between. However, what they don't tell you is after you solder a washer on the top and solder a washer on the bottom, what are you supposed to do when it comes time to sheet the center of the wing, or to cut out for the push rod, or that sort of treatment? Tells you how to sheet the leading edge, obviously how to install the cap strips and everything. But the one thing they neglected to put into the instructions is when you get to the center part of the wing, what do you do there? And like I said, if you're experienced builder and you've been doing these for quite a while, of course you're going to figure out ways to resolve that situation. But I figured I'd just bring it up, and just in case somebody else out there, maybe on YouTube or somewhere, is considering the kit, they're going to run into the same question and going to be scratching their head. And I'm just throwing out different ideas on ways to address the situation. Anyway,
I sure like that airfoil, Peter. That airfoil, that wing. If somebody wanted to play with, get into electric, I think that wing would be, buy the wing kit from Rodak and build that wing and build your fuselage and go from there. That's a good wing.
Whoever did the plans did a damn good job.
Thank you. But I do like that airfoil. That is really a nice one.
It is a nice airfoil, but I've still got that Banshee on my mind. That darn Spitfire.
Hey, that plane didn't come with a suspended bell crank, did it? Didn't it have?
Yes, it did. Yes.
Oh, it does come with one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No idea.
It's intended to be suspended between the top and bottom plywood. I guess support the support plates. Like I said, it came with it. There's a. This is the bell crank it came with. It's a standard, standard SIG bell crank, but it's set up with the appropriate number of brass bushings and things to suspend it between those two plywood plates that basically are the center structure of the wing. I just modified this bell crank as I do with I've done a couple of times where I don't particularly like doing the lead out connection where you turn around, you take a brass tube and you put it through the top and you bend it around like a loop, and then the lead out comes out. I like the the captive style lead outs. So I just turned, like I said, early in another installment, I turned around, I took a piece of electronic PC phenolic laminate board. I mean, and that's not phenolic, but it's a fiberglass layup. And I created another piece that's the same shape as the bell crank, and I turned around and I epoxied it and attached it to the top of the I guess it's a SIG or a Brodak bell crank.
Actually, it was a top flight.
Yep. So I can make the lead outs work in this fashion as opposed to looping through. But otherwise, it's it comes with the bell crank and all the bits and pieces for it to be suspended.
Good.
Looks neat. Looks neat.
I Phil, I'd be tempted to, if I was going to spill that Spitfire. I know you got the Banshee there, but I like to have that for elliptical wing. I don't like that kind of straight wing and then out that. But that wing with the tapered leading edge, and that would very well blend to an elliptical style wing, kind of like the way Palmer and those guys did it back in the day.
Well, I've been thinking for 6 months or better. Keep in mind now, I've made myself a promise. I'm going to finish at least two before I start anything. And I'd like to finish 4 since it's just paint. But
I've got 2 more to go.
I've got 8 downstairs.
Oh,
I need to paint. I mean, they've got tissue on them. They're ready for primer. They just need paint. I get to that point. If I could find somebody that would love to paint as much as I love to build, we could have some really nice models. But anyway, I've been thinking about taking, you know how Tom Morris's wings are 3-piece leading edge. It's got a 1/16 piece and then I can't remember the size, but a piece up here and a piece below it. And you put your stick ribs in and they lay on that 1/16 center. And they're 1/4 inch tall. So I've been thinking about taking that centerpiece 1/16, and what if you took that and cut it in like an elliptical shape, and it just made the top piece follow that, and CA'd it in place, and rolled it over, made it follow, and CA'd it in place, and took it over. You'd have your elliptical leading edge. The trailing edge isn't elliptical; it's straight. So I'm going to try that, and I just may do a small Spitfire with a skinny wing so I can make it electric. Because I'm beginning to believe in the skinny wings. You fly Trans airplane one time, you'll believe in skinny wings. Mm-hmm. His airplane's not that skinny, but it's skinnier than most, and it flies better than anything I've ever had my hands on. But it's interesting.
Brendan wants to come on in. Go ahead, Brendan.
Yeah, some of y'all may have seen it on Facebook, but I wanted to share a picture of something I was working on recently. Let me see if I can get this to come on. I'm probably the youngest one of the group, and yet I'm the most technologically inept right now. I'm trying to share on my phone on my screen, but I don't know that it's letting me.
Most inept. Brendan, you're not the most inept because I won't even attempt to share because I don't have any idea.
It's hard on a phone, Brendan.
Yeah. Let me see if I can go to my camera here.
No, I'm too stingy to share.
Yeah, it's not letting me go where I want to go with it. So yeah, that's not going to happen.
Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah, for those who didn't, some people may have seen it. It was and maybe I can get my hands on it and share it next time. But essentially, I took an old Ringmaster, and it was yellow. It was like a vomit yellow color. And so then what I did is I took a bunch of.
Keep talking about it. I'll find
Can
it.
you, okay, yeah. Find that Facebook post for me since I'm on my phone. But yeah, basically what I did is I had a whole bunch of old Monocoat that I had, had scraps of and stuff. And I just absolutely just spent 3 hours just laying little scraps of Monocoat all over it. So it's it's decked out like it looks like a late 80s blue, yellow, red. It's just a.
He built a hippie van.
It was a Partridge Family van.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Did you find it there, Lonky?
Give me a second, man. It's when I got this 8x8 running. The other things run really slow. So yeah, it'll take me a second. So continue, but I will find it.
Yeah, I was just going to show off the image of it. It's nothing masterful, but I got a 10-year-old son, and I souped it up for him for his birthday. So he's going to see that thing and just absolutely, go nuts over it.
Nice.
Sounds cool.
Hey, Peter.
You got to let me know how that.
Was that on your home page or was that in Control Line Flying?
I just put it in the Control Line group.
Okay. All right.
That's neat, Steve.
That's how I do a profile with a floating bell crank.
That's kind of the way I do it too. 8-inch plywood over that bar, and
you increase the gluing surface area. Yeah.
And then use a fuselage that keeps the post from moving. And as you can see, I can't tell you if it works well.
I'm sure it works as well as just about any other method.
Somebody needs to move up near Steve and fly his airplanes for him. He's a great builder, but not so great a flyer.
Well, that's how Bob Hunt does his. So I did that way, but I just haven't put it together yet. But as you can see, it was going to be IC, and then now I'm going to try to do electric, but.
Okay.
What airplane's that?
It's that,
Saginaw.
not a long shot, something shot.
Whole shot.
Whole shot.
Whole shot. Okay. That's the one that Samantha flew or had in the magazine cover?
Yeah. I have plans to that. I have a foam wing for it. That's a really neat little airplane. I saw the darn thing and just fell in love with the shape of it. I've just always loved those old racers like that, little catsuit racers.
I got the foam wing all done and everything. Got the bell crank in it, and but I could never build planes fast enough. She's always wanting something bigger.
Mike, find it.
Her first.
Here we go. Hang on.
Wall here to even see when.
Oh wow, that is wild, Brendan.
That is great.
I saw that.
Love it.
Yeah,
that's what you
got
do.
crazy. It got crazy on it. But again, a 10-year-old. When my 10-year-old sees that, he's just gonna love that.
How are you?
You know what?
How are you
All
keeping it?
8-year-olds love it.
It's
Love it
great.
myself.
How are you hiding it from him, Brendan?
I got it out in the pool house right now, and that's kind of where I got a bunch of planes stashed and stuff, and he's just not allowed to go out there.
Okay.
Is that a Banshee? No, what is it?
Looks like a Ringmaster.
Ringmaster?
Yeah, it's a Ringmaster.
Oh, okay.
I have the
Oh,
hardest
camouflage.
time.
I can't see.
I had a hard time hiding
I love
everything
it.
from Sam, Brendan. I have my neighbor's garage door opener. We traded garage door openers, so he can hide stuff from his teenage daughter, and I can hide stuff from Sam. We don't even ask permission. Like, I just take airplanes.
Yeah.
All those RC planes I built for him for Christmas, I hid him over at my neighbor's house, and he had his daughter's electric bike hidden over here during Christmas. So kids are nosy.
Sam thought he was getting a bike for Christmas, huh?
Yeah, it sounds like a good plan, Mike, because he actually saw it when the ringmaster was the vomit yellow color, and he, I had it under a tarp or something, but he saw it. But yeah, it's hard to hide them.
It is.
Well, there's one thing about it: you won't lose that one.
No, that sticks out like a sore thumb.
I've got all the guys around here wanted to do silver airplanes. At one time around here, that was the thing. Silver airplanes, because they're light. It's only base color, and then you put a little detail on it and clear it. Well, I've got an SV11 with a Tiger 60, and it's silver. I can't see silver. Some grays just disappear. It's bad enough in the summertime, but right now when there's nothing out there but just gray trees, forget it. I fly the spinner till it runs out of fuel, and I land it, and then that's it. That's my flight for the day.
Is it got a yellow spinner?
No, chrome.
Chrome.
Polished aluminum.
That's the only thing you can see is the polished aluminum, huh?
It's hard seeing that, Dennis. I'm telling you. No,
yeah,
honestly,
I bet it is.
It has a shell. It has a shell emblem with the wings on it. That's behind the flaps, between the flaps and the elevator, and that's what I can find. But that's after the fact. You fly in the plane, and that's at the back of the airplane. You're trying to watch that. It's hard, but that's how I find the airplane. But I come out of the sky, went out there the other day, and the sky was gray, the trees were gray, and I looked at the airplane, and I just said, forget it, and left it in the car. I couldn't see it. I've almost been hit 4 times by cars in the last 2 years, and all 4 times it was gray cars.
Wow.
So I just me and gray don't get along. I don't know what it is.
So you're saying gray cars don't like you?
Well, I can't see them, so I don't know. I about pulled out in front of one, and I happened to see the glimmer off. If he hadn't had a chrome bumper, I'd have probably got hit.
Oh man, that's scary.
That is scary. Tell me about it. And then what's getting to be the popular color in cars, houses, and everything else right now? Gray.
So you saw all the different colors of that ringmaster wing. This is actually the wing that we're working on for my son's Nats plane. I think you all could see that.
Oh wow, Brendan. Oh, that's cool.
Good gracious.
Yeah,
stunt trainer, buddy.
It's a rugged stunt trainer, but we nicknamed it the Sky Splitter because obviously you got two sides of the sky there. So
very good.
Hey, Mike, I sent you something you might be interested in on your Facebook Messenger.
I'm looking at it right now. I know that girl. That girl was on the drop zone the very first day I showed up to make my first AFF level 1 jump.
Yep.
Her and Nancy Dixon and Dave. Oh, what the hell was his name? Martin Check and Romeo were going up for a 182 jump. I rolled in there at 7:30 in the morning, and Beth was in there getting geared up with the 3 of those knuckleheads to go make a jump. Actually, I tried hitting on her a little bit through the day. I didn't know she was married at the time. I was hitting on her and Nancy, both of them, because I was single. I rolled up on a DD. I didn't know, So cool.
Yeah. We didn't get the airplane, so good. It was quick.
Yeah, they have to catch up on the chat box real quick. Top Brent says that multicolor ringmaster looks like a razzle dazzle World War I camel pattern. Very cool. Very cool, Brendan.
I forgot that. He's right. They did have a
Oh yeah, they used to do Navy ships in that kind of blocky, angled camo. The Germans did a bunch of that.
Yep. Yeah, breaks up the profile.
I tell you what, the USS North Carolina is painted like that. And you drive down the highway and you're used to see it sitting over there, and you look and you don't see it, and oh, there it is. That paint scheme works. It's weird, but it works.
Hey, Brendan, so let me ask you, what are your plans for the Nats, or to come for the unofficial events on Sunday for like beginner and intermediate, and then stick around till Saturday for junior senior open, or kind of like you did the last time?
You know what? I'll tell you what. Tony absolutely runs scared of the COVID stuff. So who knows? Last year it obviously scared us off. I've already been vaccinated because I work at a federal prison. But you know, I begged and begged and begged to go last year. It was the no-go.
Right.
So I actually bought I got a motorhome now, so we could technically motorhome it down there and
Camp.
you know stay in the motorhome. But I just don't know if she'll be in a place where she wants to go out or not. She's just really.
Well, hopefully, you know, the vaccinations will make her feel more comfortable. And you can tell her this too. As far as we know, nobody that attended Muncie control line nats last year contracted COVID while they were there. I mean, and that's a fact. Nobody got it while they were there. It's an outdoor event, you know, so camp.
When is it?
June 19th is the start of unofficial events, and then it runs through the 26th. And that scale starts a few days earlier than that. I think they start like the Wednesday or Thursday before, and they're done on Sunday the 19th. But Monday through Saturday is stunt, racing, speed, combat, carrier, old time, classic, Pampa stunt, beginner, intermediate, all the jet events, all the piston engine racing events and speed events. And then also during that week, I just looked at the calendar today. RC Combat is running for a couple days while we're there, which is always fun to go over and watch. RC Combat will be there for like 3 or 4 of the days that we're there. And then RC Pylon runs like Sunday through Thursday. They're done Thursday.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought the dates were. I was going to try to make it up there, but unfortunately, I've already got something planned that Saturday, so I'll have to skip it this year. But
which Saturday?
The 26th.
Well, that's the last day. That's the absolute last day.
Yeah.
And the only thing happening that day is the Pampa Junior, Senior, and Open Walker Cup fly-offs. I mean, on Saturday, there's literally like 15 people there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's the guy that
You
won.
might get to see me fly.
There's the guy that won Open, and then a couple of juniors and seniors and their families. Nobody sticks around after Friday. You know, after top 20 day, Thursday and Friday, everybody splits, man. It's a shame too, because the LPAD is a ghost town on Saturday. It really is. But if you're busy that Saturday, you ain't missing nothing. The time to come is earlier in the week when everything is going on. Yeah. And if you want to see the stunt stuff, I mean, there's stunt on Sunday before. There's stunt, I think old time and classic is Monday. And then you got combat, racing, speed, carrier, all that stuff's going on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, in addition to being able to watch Pylon and being able to watch RC Combat.
Yeah, but I don't have the vacation time right now to spend a week there.
Eddie,
So
it's 5 hours. If you could do anything, you drive up Saturday, because Saturday afternoon people start rolling in and flying, and you come for Sunday and watch beginner and intermediate, and combat will be going on, especially if they're having a team trials. They'll be flying full on F2D combat on Sunday because they'll start early if there's a team trials.
Well,
if you can only get up there on Sunday, there's still plenty of stuff to watch.
Well, like I said, if I've got the time, I'd probably take off Monday and Tuesday. Like you say, drive up there Saturday, stay Sunday and Monday, and drive back Tuesday. So
yeah, there's still
what's a good place? Where's a good place to stay up there that's relatively cheap?
Well, nothing in Muncie is going to be cheap. Everything in Muncie that's 10 minutes from the field is going to be $100 a night, or 120, depending on. It's going to be between 100 and 120. There are a few crappier hotels in Muncie.
Well, so I'm not going to be flying, so I don't have to be right, close
So
to
you
the
want
field.
you
I'd
want to
stay in Anderson then.
you
though.
want to look in Anderson, and you'll get rooms there for about $50 or $60 in Anderson, and that's
Yeah.
about a 25-minute drive.
And it's usually about 2 minutes longer than it is coming in from Muncie when everybody's up and moving around. I mean,
No, that's not true, Steve. Man, we're from Muncie at the Best Western. We're at the field in like 7 minutes, man. And Anderson is a good 25 because it's 22 miles, 23 miles to Anderson. It's like 4 to Muncie.
yeah, but most of the time you're hitting the red lights, and it depends on what day it is and what time. I mean, it can be really busy in Muncie.
It can be.
What time? What time do they usually start flying? Daylight.
I mean, every guys are stunt guys, man. They're there at 6:30 in the morning, man. Those psychopaths.
I think officially nobody can fly before 7 a.m. and usually the competition starts around 8.
Yeah, officially. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. Combat on a similar schedule?
Yeah, usually, they try to start at 8, especially with F2D and stuff when they got 40 or 50 pilots. But for speed limit, half a day will start at 9. If you only got 20 guys, 18, 20 guys, they'll push it back a little bit, But it's nice to stay in Muncie close because we always stay at a hotel that has a pool, and we like to take the afternoon, after flying events, go back to the hotel, take a dip, get some lunch, and then come back out for the evening flying. Because we've stayed in Anderson and we've stayed in Muncie. And when we stayed at Anderson, sometimes we go back to the hotel and we just didn't want to drive back out to the field because it was 25, 30 minutes,
Right.
You're more inclined.
I have a question for you, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've only been to the Nats once, and it was in April. But what's the weather like in June?
I don't know. You didn't come in April. You came in July, Charles. I was there.
Okay, I thought it was April. But
No,
July, you're probably right.
The Nats are always July. Always
The only worries in June instead of July is it might be a little breezier.
And wetter.
In Muncie, it might be a little breezier than it is in July. Usually the weather settles down later in the summer and stuff like that. But that's an iffy thing. And I know, hard to predict whether it'll be rainy or anything like that. It could be wetter in June than it is in July, but it's hard to say anymore.
I'll tell you what, though, you always get one really good rain when you're there. Just downpour.
Every time. Does anybody have access to the schedule? I'd like to know what week sailplane is.
It's hard to find, Phil, but I found it today because I was trying to do the same thing, like see what was scheduled for what weeks.
Yeah.
You can find the event for the week, but they don't have individual events listed for the day yet on the calendar. And that will come when that starts filling in. They'll tell you classic is Monday, old time is Monday. They'll have intermediate and beginner on Sunday. They'll say start open on Tuesday, and all that. Right now, it's just a block for the week. Control line, national championship.
Yeah. Okay.
And it would be the same thing for sailplane too. It'll say RC sailplane championships. They usually start showing up on Saturday after junior the Walker Cup.
Yeah.
The RC pattern guys start showing up on the LPAD on Saturday, waiting for us to leave. And then the sailplane guys, they start like the Sunday after we're done, where all our practice fields are, where they got the 6 grass circles. That's where they set up the tow line sailplane guys at. It's typically
I would bet this year is a goofy schedule.
It is because of
I'm not exactly sure when any of the other. I mean, they put us in June because our normal weeks are going to be part of a world champs or something like that.
They're doing 2 world championships.
You're going to have to look at the AMA site to get the big schedule, and then get detailed schedules as they come out. So
you look at the event calendar, Phil, on AMA. and then click on IAC, which is the International Aeromodelling Center. And that will pull up the calendar that shows the blocks of the
All
week.
right, thank you.
You got to
I'll do
click
that
on the
tomorrow.
IAC part to see what weeks are what events. But yeah, July is 2 different world championships, RC pattern and RC. What's the other one, Dennis? F3. What's F3?
Don't know.
I just looked at
I was
it
thinking
today.
it was the
Pylon.
Pylon.
They're having Pylon World Championships and Pattern World Championships in July.
I used to
what it
think
is.
I wanted to fly pylon because they're so pretty, and then I went to watch them at the nationals, and they're so fast I can't keep up with them. That's ridiculous how fast those little planes are.
Yeah, you think a good stunner is expensive? Go get you 4 or 5 Pylon planes.
No, don't think so.
With-
I looked at one of the motors.
4 or 5 Nelson 40s to start.
Yeah.
And then the airframes are about $1,500 a piece.
Yeah.
And then your 2.4 system that has to go in it. I mean, they got like $2,500, $3,000 in those planes, man.
Yeah, I got 3 of the 2.4s downstairs, but I can't fight those engines and those $1,500 for a little airplane like this. And then when I watched, there were 6 of them just went poof in the air. It's making the turns. There are so many G's. It's ridiculous.
That's what's really cool. If they just touch each other, all they have to do is touch, and they turn into confetti.
Yeah.
Have you ever picked one of those up or seen one?
Yeah, they don't weigh nothing.
They don't weigh nothing. It's like the fuselage is a shell, and the wing is a shell with a spar. I mean, you can like pick them up and squeeze them, and they bend.
Yeah.
They're so thin and so delicate. Well, John Gibson flew Pylon, so I went and watched him in Julian, North Carolina, race a couple times there, and then seen him at the Nats too. But that's where I saw the first Pylon crashes was in Julian, and 2 guys, they just touched wingtips. I mean, just like that, and the planes went poof, and the Nelson
Yeah.
and they just take off.
Yeah, and you're trying to figure out where'd it go.
Yeah. But they're
Tell you
going
what,
200,
that's wild.
200 miles an hour around that pillar, man. 200,
Yeah, but
205 miles an hour. Four up, 200 miles an hour. It's something
too
to see,
fast
man.
for me.
It really is.
The 2 most impressive things I saw at the Nats the last year I went, I saw the first F-15 Eagle fly over, and this has been 10 years ago. But I saw an F-15 go over, and I looked up. It looked right. It sounded right. Everything about it told me that's a real F-15 Eagle. That's what I'm used to, except something's wrong with it. And then I realized it's a dang model, but it looks right. It ain't a ducted fan. It had 2 real jets in it, and it had little cones out the back. It looked real.
Charles,
So
do you remember all the flyovers from the B-29 when you were there in 2019? That was so Fifi, the B-29 Fifi was coming in and out of the Muncie airport. And they had it in there with the commemorative airports. They were giving rides. I think they had a Stearman, a Texan, and Fifi, and you could go fly in the B-29 if you wanted to.
I heard about that.
Muncie was our AMA site was right on the flight path. We had flyovers 2 or 3 times a day all week long.
That was cool. That was cool.
Lumbering through. And one day we had a rain day, like Tuesday or Wednesday. There was bad weather, and I don't know. There was 20 or 30 people from the control line community just all went over to the airport and did the tour and walked through the airplane and hung out at the airport for a little while because we couldn't fly. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah, I had totally forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me about that.
The last year I was there, when we were leaving, we went by Dayton. Of course, I have to, the way the highway goes to come home, I have to go by Dayton. And we went by there, and there was an air show going on. They were getting ready for an air show. And they had the B-2 there. My dad was big into the Northrop Flying Wings. I've got all kinds of books that were my dad's marked classified on the Northrop Flying Wings, XB-35, 49, the whole series. Anyway, the B-2 sitting there. Well, I had to do an about face and go back to the airport because I'm going to go see this big bird.
Sure.
I got out there and I was looking at the thing through the fence and trying to get pictures, and this guy walked up behind me, and I guess I was getting a little too close or something or other. And the guy asked me what was going on, and I said, well, my dad worked on the original XB-35 project, and I just have always been fascinated by this airplane, but I can't get a good look at it. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be across. There's a line out there, and you're not supposed to go over it, and I was over it. So this is some lieutenant colonel. I turned around to some, I mean, he made me, I had to look up. I'm 6'4". I had to look up to see this guy. But anyway, we got to talking, and the next thing I know, we're walking through the gate. He took me back there, and we walked around this airplane.
Wow.
That's the most phenomenal piece of machinery I've ever seen. But when it took off, it just took off. You didn't expect it to take off so easy. But when it turned its back to you, it disappeared.
Yep.
You know it's not outside the grounds of the airport yet, and it disappeared.
There's something about the painting that on that and the way they've done it, Phil. I saw it. It gets a certain distance away from you, and it just blends into the background. It's amazing.
You can still hear it, but you can't see it. It's weird.
Oh, I didn't know
Great
that.
airplane.
Wow.
But I couldn't take any pictures once I went in, but I got to take a look at it. And it's amazing. It is truly an amazing airplane. I said my dad would be proud of this. But he said before Bill Northrop died, Bill Northrop was very sick and he was in a wheelchair. And when they finished the B-2, they took him to the Air Force Base. I forgot the name of it in California.
Edwards.
Dwight Air Force Base. There you go. Where the B-2 was stationed. And they took him out and showed him, put a scale model of it in his hands, and then rolled the B-2 out and let him see it. He says, now I know why God left me around here so long.
Yeah, nice.
So that was cool.
Hey, Phil, another thing on that beach, on all of Northrop's flying wing, because they had several different versions. They had some smaller ones, some bigger ones,
N9M.
a couple of piston-powered pushers, and then jet ones. Even like a really small one. But I had heard, and I don't know if this is true, that even the B-2 has a 37 degrees swept wing, which is what the was.
Yep. There you go.
There's
a model of it. That's what I've heard. And it's like I say, it's the most phenomenal thing I've ever seen. But the thing that gets me, if they had known about if they'd known about split flaps and just opening the ailerons to stabilize that thing, we would have had the XB-35 and 49 instead of the B-29 B-36. That's the only thing. Only big difference is they didn't know about split flaps. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, as a bombing platform, it oscillated in flight, and so it wasn't stable enough for precision bombing.
Well, they had the same problem with the B-2 though, and then they opened the ailerons up, and it becomes very stable. But
exactly.
But we did a model of it, RC model, and I just put them open about 20 degrees up and down, and it flies great. Everybody keeps telling me, well, we got plans, but they don't fly real good. So we built it. It works, but it's got the ailerons open. The ailerons open, yeah. So now they want me to. Now the plan is to build one and have them where we can open them and close them. I don't know. That's going to have to be a lot bigger model.
Beautiful.
That is such a sharp looking airplane.
That is sharp.
And it's so impressive in person, you can't believe it. It's just wild airplane.
I got when I was in California, it was about 16 or so weeks to drive out to where they had the B-35s and XB-47, the jet powered one.
49.
They had those stacked up there, not have it parked on there before they destroyed them. And I always thought that was such a rotten deal that they destroyed them. Those things are absolutely gorgeous in my mind. But they chopped them up
too. They sure did. That when they had that when that picture was made, Bill Northrop ordered them all out on the tarmac, even the ones that were under construction. They ordered them all out on the tarmac, They took those pictures of all of them together, and then they went they brought a big blade in and dropped it on them, just cut them into pieces.
Yep.
Such a shame. I couldn't believe it didn't take a single one of them to the Air Force Museum. Not
Yeah,
one.
that's what bothered me.
Yeah, that's some crazy nonsense. But anyway.
Well, you
I
guys,
don't
it's
know.
about
Kind
9
of sounds like
o'clock,
the Arrow, doesn't it?
and we can continue on. I want us to transition to the after party. Now, if you're just watching the show or been watching it, we're going to continue on, but we're going to be continuing off the YouTube site. And if you want to come in this show, you need to register and be part of the Stunt Hangar Forum registration, and then you can come in to the show through the link that's at the bench, and then you'll be able to be in the after party. And I want to let you know that the after party sometimes is better than the live streamed portion of the show. But as a recap, we had a really good show tonight. We had like 22 concurrent viewers besides us here in the room, and we had 23 likes. I'd like you guys to continue to hit the thumbs up, and I'd ask and encourage the people who watch the replay to please hit the replays. Excuse me, please hit the thumbs up so we can grow this channel, and it'd be a recommended view when people go to their home screen on YouTube.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
I don't want to just before you sign off. It looks like the Pampa collaboration on Stunt Hangar looks like it's starting to take shape. I just wanted to make that announcement, and just for everybody to stay tuned and see how that all plays out. I see Rusty has already started creating spaces in the forum for the Pampa content.
Fantastic. I'm a Pampa member, so I'd love to have something for my money. That's great. Anyways, we had some activity in the chat, and I appreciate those coming in here and being part of the show. And then we had a really good turnout on site here. I think we had about 16 of us at one time. I believe that's what we got up to. And so thanks again for showing up. We'll be back Monday. And so as Rusty and Sparky says, fair winds and tight lines. Go out there, have some fun, and come back and tell us all about it. See you all later. See you then. See you soon, hopefully. Bye.